Hello YouTube, this is an alcohol review of Tullamore DEW Honey. According to the label, established in 1829, made with Irish whiskey and natural bohemian honey liqueur. Keep that in mind, it's a liqueur, not a direct honey. Product of Ireland. The rest of it here and there. Tullamore Company, Ireland, imported by way of New York. So yeah. Usually there's a story behind it, ancient long ago recipe that we was able to pull it out of the body of great granddad's hand. And we tried it, and so people said, no, don't do it. And we did it anyway, and aren't we great? It doesn't have that. Thank goodness. The stories get old. Most of them are fake, if not all. Here's what I was looking for. Tucked away on the side. Multi-award winning Tullamore DEW whiskey liqueur meets natural bohemian honey, warm, sweet, and smooth. Drink on the rocks. Important. So I'll leave my fingers at you guys. Important. What's important about this whole thing? Drink on the rocks. When my experience, maybe obviously different with everyone else, but my experience is that when the label says drink straight or with friends or something like that, the manufacturer likes its product, thinks it's good stuff. If it says, like, put in your favorite cocktail and drink with friends, putting your favorite cocktail means you're adding flavors to it, which means the manufacturer, the company, or whoever wrote the copy for the label thinks it's garbage. And may not be that harsh. As in, do they really think it's garbage? But they do not think highly of the product's flavor. So they're recommending to you to try it masked. Or it would say straight, neat, something along that line. It says here, sucks getting old, guys. Drink on the rocks. To add ice, what you are doing is you're cooling down the solution, your whiskey, your drink. By doing that, you start cutting back a lot of the sharp edges that make up your drink, your whiskey. That means you're kind of muddying it down. You know this because if you lower the temperature, you start losing flavors. A lot of what you taste comes through the nose, and cooling down the solution cools down what the nose gets. And if the nose gets little, that means there's very little for you to complementary taste. The nose and the tongue are intimately linked together. Cold solution, cold drink, cold on the tongue, cold on the tongue, cold on the nose. You lose upwards of 70% of the flavor. Scientifically fact. Boom, right there. No arguing. Well, you can argue, but won't do you any good. Well, yeah. So 70% gone. Why would you want to do that to your favorite whiskey or to any whiskey? Any rum, any whatever it is? And it's the fact that a lot of stuff comes with sharp bites to it, comes with a sharp burn to it. Adding ice cools down those flavors and makes it so you taste less burn, less bite. By saying try it on the rocks, they know it bites you or it will burn you if you're not careful. So there's an admission already from the manufacturer of what we're going to taste. But we are trying it neat. defying the manufacturer. Oh, I just noticed that. Can't say that word. Nothing without effort. Oh, okay. Tardigan, Iraq. That's like Klingon or something. And a small B. That's just adorable. Alright, so we'll try this again. Boom. Again, because this is take 2. We have a nice caramel color with heavy yellow influences. There. So it is pretty. The heavy yellow with the caramel gives it that honey kind of look. All flows well together. Very strong nose. Lots of lemon. Like I said, this is take 2, but during take 1, I was able to get as far as past the tasting of it, and there was a lot of burn to it. I'm not getting so much of that burn now, but like I said, this is take 2, second dram. So yeah. But buried deep in there is that burning that wants to come out. And there it is again. Straight off the bat. All these flavors with that lot of burn. The honey during the nose, during the sniff. You will find, at least I found, that the honey liqueur tends to lay on everything like a blanket. So you get all the flavors that you want to get out of it. But expect it to be kind of squished a little out of a heavy weight that honey can bring. It's a nice nose. It really is. But it does have sharp edges. But if you notice, neat, no ice. With ice, yeah, it'll do well. It'll hold up quite nicely. Will you get all the layers of the Irish whiskey? Probably not. You'll get the more defined bits and parts. But that's about all. Like I said, Irish whiskey tends to be very, to my opinion, very favorable to the palate. It's not as harsh as Scotch is. It's not as wannabe harsh like Americans. It's not as sweet. Well, not, example aside, not as sweet as a generic Canadian. And as for Japanese, they're still working on their thing. I wonder which direction Japanese is going to go in when it finally settles down and defines what a Japanese whiskey should taste like, rather than trying to perfect European whiskey or American whiskey. That's what Japanese, in my opinion, again, what Japanese tend to do is they get a hold of somebody else's idea, and then they fiddle and fiddle and fiddle till they figure that they have worked all the edges of somebody else's idea, and then start to put in their ideas. And that's when it kind of plateaus and it's up into the stratosphere it goes. Perfect example, the katana. Perfect example. Taking a Chinese sword and just going completely off the rails with it into katana hood. But we're not talking about katanas. We are talking about Tullamore DEW Honey. With the palate, the honey is in the back. It slowly creeps forward and it stays there. It's like I said, it's like a blanket being laid across your tongue. This is a good and bad thing. If you like the taste of honey, and I do, it's welcoming. If you like it to share flavors with everything else that's gone with it, it's not going to. That's bad. It needs to find its own rotation, its own spot on the shelf. So so it can blend well with the other flavors, and it doesn't know where it sits. So it's trying to sit in everybody else's chair. It's trying to sit beside everybody else. It's trying to be everybody else. It can't, but it's trying its little heart out to do that. It's trying to fit all the roles all the time, when it should be only fitting its role in its time. And because it's honey, even though it's a honey liqueur, because it's honey, it gets heavy and just flops on your tongue and doesn't want to go away. It's got a hang time that just goes into Neverland. It just keeps going. I myself love flavors, strong flavors, Merlots, Brutes, stouts and porters. This has a nice strong flavor, but I also like it when the flavor leaves. It gives me a chance to sit there, letting my palate come back to normal, and then trying the next sip. This never leaves. It's that neighbor who doesn't know the signs that the party's over and to go home. They just stay. This is that. Now, does that mean it's a bad thing? No, of course not. It's to give you an expectation when you try it. But then again, it may be different for you. But this is what it is for me. It's a neighborhood who will not leave to match that hang time. It's loud, as in all you hear is honey. It tries to drown out everybody else, but it's not. It's trying to drown it out because it's trying to think it belongs with everybody else. It doesn't fit that well. It is literally, as the label says, it is Irish whiskey and Bohemian honey liqueur. They never quite meld. Just honey, whiskey, and that's the end of that. And it doesn't want to change. I would have to say, try it with your favorite cocktail. But it's got to be a cocktail that's got strong enough flavors to handle the honey, strong-arming its way through your drink. As I said, is this a bad thing? If you like honey, no, this is a wonderful thing. If you want a nice, even, level keel, yeah. But I like it strong, and this already exceeds my palate. Try it, see what you think. You may find that the sweetness level is great, but something else comes along. We all have our different ranges. I'm just some dude in the middle of nowhere, giving you his oh so great attitude and ideas. And my idea is not bad, just too heavy for my palate. See what you think. This is Tullamore DEW Honey. Alright. At the time of taping, in the middle of the Empire, this was $20 mark. So, in range of any of us working bastards out there. But like I said, I think she's a bit heavy on the palate. Try it, see what you think. All comments typed down below. Welcome, as always, or better, go out, buy it, try it, and do a review. Let the rest of us in the internet, the YouTube's spirit community, know your thoughts on Tullamore DEW Honey. And see if it's worth their money. They may love it too. I might be the only spoiled old fart out there who's frowning on it. You may love it. But hey, you won't know till you try. Until next time, keep on drinking.